Today we're having an iconic conversation with Kreshonda Armstrong, who is a registered nurse. She has a feminine healthcare line as well as a adult sensual enhancement line, and she's also an author.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm very proud to have her here today. An icon is someone or something that is meant to be revered or idolized. For the purpose of our Iconic Conversation series, we're honoring people in our community who are worthy of being recognized for their efforts to be positive role models for future generations. Let's start off with a background question.
Yes.
Were you born and raised here in Southern Texas?
I was born in Louisiana. I lived out here when I was younger, but I officially became a resident of the area of Orange, actually, when I was in the 6th grade.
Okay, cool. So you went to, was it West Orange Star?
Yes.
Okay.
Go Mustangs.
So tell me about your profession. What is it that you do?
I am currently the Director of Nursing for Rest Care Healthcare. I am supervisor of the nursing department over the Beaumont and Lufkin regions. We provide care to the clients in the IDD population. We make sure that that we maintain their health care, we provide independence, and we help them live their best life.
Okay, cool. So what made you choose it? Or how did you get into being a nurse?
Into nursing, I've actually known that I wanted to be a nurse since I was about 4 years old. My grandfather had open heart surgery at Herman in Houston, and I remember it vividly. I remember back then they didn't use the glue or stitches, or they used the huge, staples. And I remember him having the staples, and I remember asking, Papa, can I touch it? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, does it hurt? He was like, no. And so as soon as I got ready to touch it, he jumped like I heard it. But my grandfather, he loved to joke like that. Like, God rest his soul, but he loved to joke like that. So when the nurse came in, I was like, hey, what are you doing with my papa? Don't be touching my papa. Don't touch my grandpa. But I was like, Papa, who is that lady? And he was like, that's my nurse. And I was like, oh, what does she do? He was like, she's gonna give me medicine to help me feel better. So I said, oh, well, when I get big and I'm a grown up, I'm gonna be a nurse and I'm gonna take care of you. And I stood by my word.
So was that your biggest inspirational moment?
As far as being a nurse, yes, I would consider my biggest inspiration for my life, my parents. They instilled in me some very strong values and morals that helped me be the woman that I am today. Thank you, Dad, Kreshonda Armstrong, for always having my back and being amazing and supporting me and making me feel like I can do anything. Thank you, Mom, Miranda Burton, for always loving me and encouraging me and telling me to suck it up when I have my moments, my tears, so that we can get together and make things happen for the best. I love you all.
So let's talk about upcoming events.
I would like to do more pop-ups with my feminine health and hygiene line, Coochie Care Essentials. I know the name, throws people off just a little bit, but I picked it because I didn't want to question about what it was for and who this product line was for. I like to do more pop-ups and do a little bit more education about feminine health and hygiene. I also am working on a podcast.
Cool.
It's going to be called Just the Tip for Kreshonda. So that I'm giving like health tidbits and different scenarios, for women's health and women's sexuality from a nursing perspective. And I am in the talks of doing a TV show as well on Lux TV. It's going to be on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire Stick. So make sure you guys download the Lady Lux app, LADYLUXXXE. Oh, another thing we're doing on the 21st, we're going to the preschool and we're gonna go read to the kids. How simple is that? You know what I mean? At the preschool and just read them a story, and then they think it's amazing because there's a grown up there, and they're so happy, and you tell them your name, and you're like, and when you get ready to leave, they're like, we love you, and bye, Kreshonda. It's a really good feeling. But we do that as well.
What events or projects are you most excited to work on right now?
I'm most excited to work on projects regarding my health and hygiene line. I would like to start talking to, with their parents' permission of course, and maybe with their parents' involvement, young school-age girls about hygiene and maintaining their health care. When I was growing up, that was a very touchy topic. You know, it's in the South, you know, it's kind of a difficult subject to bring to your parents. You know, you don't want them to view you in an unpleasing light. But there are questions and things that young ladies need to know, you know, about their bodies and about taking care of themselves. So I'm excited to work on that. I'm also working on preparing speeches. So I'm working on venturing out to be a speaker and speak at different events and such. So I'm really excited for, you know, being able to kind of go out and help people out and talk to them and answer questions and stuff. I'm a little bit anxious, but my daughters give me great practice. I have 3 girls, 16, 10, and 2. And so they're, you know, the oldest who are in different, you know, well, they're all in different developmental stages, but the older 2 are really like my hands-on training when it comes to talking, you know what I mean? Like kind of breaking the ice and dealing with different issues that they have. So I'm pretty excited about it.
So would that also be your most enjoyable project you've done so far?
Yes, probably. Only because I feel like I can help people. Kids are mean. I mean, let's just put that. Kids are mean, especially like, you know, school age kids. They can be very mean, and things that they say or do can affect you. You know what I mean? Even as you go into adulthood, psychologically, everyone has that, you know, that memory of, well, when I was in school, you know, this particular situation happened. So
I think a lot of people develop based on those interactions with school kids and, you know, what they did, if they were picked on TV.
Right, when they get older, you can tell, you know, which ones are kind of picked on because their behavior is a little bit different.
I think that's great that you would be able to go in and speak to them. And I think that you'll be able to reach out to them. I mean, you already have experience with that age groups.
Hands-on, and then as, you know, in nursing, I've had to deal with, you know, I've worked as a pediatric nurse for the last, well, since 2007, I've been working with peds.
So we talked about you practicing your speeches. How do you feel about performance anxiety?
I think that performance anxiety is natural because you don't know what you're walking into. So it's a normal feeling to feel anxious. But once you do it, you usually feel a sense of accomplishment. You feel better about it, and once you start talking and the audience starts interacting with you, it eases all of that anxiety.
Tell me about a dream location or a goal of yours in regards to your public speaking. Like, where would you like to speak at? Or where would you like your healthcare line to be?
I would like for my healthcare line to be worldwide. I'm praying and speaking that into existence.
Yes.
I have clients who come to me specifically, exclusively, you know, for their products, and they've not had any issues. I try them out myself. I mean, you know, and I actually have about 25 people on a list that I use as beta testers when I'm ready to release another product, because I know that they're going to give me truthful, unbiased opinions about the product. You know what I mean? Because I ask very, very detailed questions. I ask, if it comes to my mind, I'm like, hey, you know, and I ask it. So they have to be willing to answer to be on my list. So I have some very supportive people.
Okay, so let's talk about 2019.
Okay.
What events or projects made a big impact?
I actually started the line, that particular line, and I rebranded my Kinky Creations line. Initially, when I started in 2012, I was doing erotic chocolates and lollipops and like party favors, you know, novelty items, as well as chocolate covered strawberries. So that was the initial. But then as time progressed, you know, life, kids, work, time didn't allow for me to meet those deadlines, so I backed off of it. I rebranded it as Essential Enhancement Company, and now I supply, you know, edible massage we were talking about earlier. So
cool.
I'm gonna add more things to that line. I have a couple other things on the website. Chocolate body paint. And I had an edible body dust, and I think I'm gonna replace that with an all-natural lube.
Very interesting.
Okay.
If you could work with anyone alive or dead, who would it be?
Candy. The celebrity candy. The celebrity candy. She has her own toy line. And she's just embraced me. Like I've kind of been watching her and listening, as well as my mentor, Mai Matthews. She's really awesome. She has her own, that's actually who is the owner of Lux TV.
Okay.
She has her own women's health and CBD line, Lady Lux. She has some really, really awesome products. She's awesome. Like she and I have become really good friends over the years, and I kid you not, like she can come in here and she'll be like, okay, what do we have? You know, you can set like 3 items out. You know, like those shows, they give you 3 things and they say, okay, go make a gourmet meal. I promise you, she will make it happen. And she does that with everything she touches. She's amazing. And I love her to death. Hey, Ma.
What changes would you like to see in our community?
I would like to see some more unity. I would like to see more people willing to volunteer and serve. We have a lot of areas where we could be doing more. I know the Franklin House is here in Beaumont. I know that that's here because the Women and Children's Shelter. I know that's here because twice a year we donate clothes and shoes to them.
What do you think would be the best way to begin that process?
The best way to begin that process will probably be putting the word out. Social media is an amazing way, you know what I mean, to reach others. You can reach people from all over the world with a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a tweet. Visiting our elderly, helping out with kids, mentoring and different things like that. A friend of mine, husband and wife, David and Sharissa Richards, are working on a mentorship program. And I know it's in Orange. I'm hoping it'll be in the Golden Triangle though. So they have a lot of products. And so there are people that are trying to help, but they need more help and more input from the community. We have a lot of people that would be really, really great mentors. Teachers that have retired, you know what I mean? Different professions, people that will be willing to help get kids that are a little at risk, you know what I mean? Help them get on the right path and maybe inspire them. We don't know what they go through on a daily basis, you know what I mean? So it would be amazing for them to have somebody, if they don't have someone at home, to encourage them to do more, you know what I mean, or do better. So I think social media, identifying these different things, saying, hey, promoting a little bit more, for example, the mentor program. Hey, if there are any retired teachers that would be willing to dump, 3 hours once a month, you know what I mean? That's not a lot of time, you know what I mean? If you do that, or if they're willing to, an hour after school, 2 days a week to help a kid prepare, for like the STAR test, that kind of thing. I think that would be really beneficial. Some parents can't necessarily afford to hire a private tutor, you know what I mean? But with school curriculum, you have to go. You can't necessarily wait on everyone who, who's not totally getting it. So I think different things, I think social media would be the best way to reach out to people and just start doing different things, mixers, speeches about these things, as far as helping out in the community, putting it out there. Some people don't know they can volunteer.
Hopefully we can get some people to kick in and be a part.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We're talking to you. That would be awesome.
What type of advice would you give to someone that wants to walk in your footsteps?
Someone that wants to walk in my footsteps. First, I'm going to tell you that nursing school is very hard. I'm not saying it's hard like you can't accomplish it. I'm saying it's hard like you'll probably feel like you're dying while it's going on. That's how I feel anyway. And that's how most of the nurses that I know feel during nursing school, because there's a lot of information. And there are like point systems. Like I went to Lamar Orange both times. And you can't make less than a 75. So if you get a 74.8, it's over. You know what I mean? Like seriously, like that's how serious it is. So imagine your anxiety level, like, okay, wait a minute, you're just counting points and stuff. But you can do it. See if you know of a nurse or someone who knows a nurse. If you're looking for a mentor that's a nurse, that would be amazing. They could probably help you with some tricks and stuff on how to study, how to prepare yourself and that kind of thing. This morning when Amber was doing my makeup, I was talking to her daughter Taylor, and she's currently a BSN student at Lamar, and we were like having this conversation about nursing stuff, and Amber was just laughing. She was like, okay, no, she's not ever gonna stop calling, you know. But we were like talking about different things. She's getting ready to start precepting, which is basically free work, you know. But I asked her which area she wanted to work in. Like, where did she want to go precepting? She was like, oh, I want to go to the ER. I was like, the ER is amazing, and this is why, you know. So I started running off all these different experiences that I had in the emergency room. I saw a heart attack in action. And that was probably the coolest thing that I got to see because, you know how like music conductors, when there's the orchestra, they tap, you know, the board and they're like, hey, everybody's attention, and then they start doing like this. That's kind of how it was, but the doctor was like the maestro and all of the other departments, like the lab and your x-ray and different, they all just, it was like they just flowed in and out and in and out. And you only have so much time when somebody has a heart attack to get them up to the cath lab. So at the end of it, I'm just standing there because I couldn't do anything, of course, but they were all doing stuff and I'm just watching. And then at the end, like they left me in the room and I was by myself. And I was sitting there going, what just happened? Like it was so awesome though. Like it was like, this is the coolest thing ever because you get to see everything that really goes into saving someone's life. That was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, with everything that you have going on, do you have any spare time?
Yes.
What do you like to do?
In my spare time, I like to travel. I just came back from Florida, in Austin last week. Mai got married.
Oh,
She got married, which is awesome. It was on the beach. It was so beautiful. Like it was really amazing. Like the weather was perfect and the sand was white and the water was blue. It was just awesome.
in your own words, describe what being an icon is.
Being an icon is setting an example for the generations beyond to follow. It is being a leader. It is making positive choices. It is making positive impacts within our community.
And I would say that you're definitely an icon for future generations, even where you are now, because I mean you have such an impact. You're encouraging your children to be branding queens. So that's definitely going to flow out. I don't see why they wouldn't or couldn't be influencers in their fellow classmates, getting into the school systems, donating and volunteering for all the projects that you already have, coming up with your healthcare line so that it can help people in the community as well. The book that you have, I mean, it's to help people. So everything that you're doing is to help others and try to raise the community to come together. And I think that's what an icon is.
Xania, as a thank you for allowing me to be a part of the Icon series, I bought you a couple of things. The first thing is a copy of my book, 30 Days to Intimacy, Reigniting the Spark, currently available on Amazon. So that is yours.
Awesome.
I also brought you a couple of things from my women's healthcare line. I brought you the Coochie capsules, which are a women's pH balance suppository. These are much healthier for your body than the Summer's Eve water guns that we were taught to use. Instructions are on the back. If you have additional questions, you're free to contact me, okay?
Okay.
And I brought you a bottle of the Coochie cleanser. Now this one we're gonna try on camera. See here? This is a feminine wash that you can utilize throughout the day. You can bring it with you. If it's in your purse, a 2-ounce bottle does. It smells really good, helps keep you fresh throughout the day. You know, after gym workouts, different kind of day, you know, different kind of things. Whatever, you know, just to make sure that, you know, every time you leave the restroom, you feel confident.
Right, it smells good.
Thank you. The last thing that I brought you was a bottle, a 2-ounce bottle of the Pineapple Kinky Care Edible Massage Oil. That's what sensual enhancement means. Edible massage oil. So I brought you a bottle of the pineapple. This is one of the favorites. My top 2 on the line currently are pineapple and pina colada. But some people don't like pina colada, you know, so it's like maybe I think we'll be better with pineapple. So that's all natural. All my products are all natural. Rub it on, lick it off. It'll heat up. It's
Sounds good.
Yes, it tastes awesome as well. But yes, so you have samples of all of my products and such. Be sure to let me know how you feel about them. I love hearing feedback from my clients, just because that's the way I learn what I need to improve on. So
Awesome.
those are your gifts for allowing me to be here, and I really do thank you for this opportunity.
That is awesome. Thank you very much.
No problem.
So I want to thank our iconic guest, Kreshonda Armstrong, for coming in and interviewing with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
It was just an amazing conversation, and we have more interviews to come. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.